You're listening to Your Dental Marketing Department, your podcast source for dental marketing tips, strategies, and advice. Now here's your host, Jared Young.
Hi, I'm Jared with Your Dental Marketing Department, here for this week's version of our marketing podcast. This is your podcast source and videocast source now for all things dental marketing and business related. Have you ever wondered, as a dentist or dental practice, why there could be 6,000 dentists in the San Diego area, for instance? I mean, that's a dentist every block almost in the city. Yet some dentists seem to be packed all the time in their office, and other dentists seem to never have any patients show up. I give you a really good hint. They're standing out from the crowd. They're being different. One of the problems that we see in dentistry is that almost all dentists act and do the same thing. It's what you're taught in dental school. You're taught to follow a set of rules, follow a set of procedures, do things the way you're taught, and continue to move forward. So it's a good way and it's a good method to do business in a lot of instances. The problem is it's not a good way to market your practice. When you market your dental practice, what you need to do is stand out from the crowd, be different from the other dentists around you, because that's the only way you're going to get recognized. Now, that's what we're going to talk about in today's podcast. Before I get to that, though, I want to talk a little bit about cool new stuff.
Wow, that's really cool.
This week's cool new stuff is Earth Engine from Google. It's on my screen behind me. You probably can't see it, but this is something that's been around for a little bit, but Google's pushing it a little bit more now, and it's the ability to take time-lapse videos from satellite images over a period of time. Most of it's from 1984 until now, and if you go to earthengine.google.org, you can actually watch some of the videos that have already been built. They provide a data set, so if you wanted to create your own or program with it, you actually can, but it's interesting to see how Nevada has grown, how Las Vegas has grown from 1984 until today. And they have one for rainforest deforestation. They have some for the coastal build out in Dubai. It's just really interesting to see over a period of 20 plus years how these things have been changing. So check it out if you like maps and you like to see those types of images and see how things have changed over a period of time. Check out Earth Engine from Google, earthengine.google.org. It's a fun little thing to spend a few minutes on and play around with if you get bored. So this week we're talking about how to stand out from the crowd, how to be different in your marketing. And I want to there's a lot of different ways to stand out, but I want to talk about one thing in particular, and that's authenticity. And what do I mean by authenticity? I mean that you need to be authentic to your patients and authentic in the way you represent yourself in your practice. We've talked a lot in the past about building trust with patients online, virtual trust, so to speak. And I think that's key, but one of the main ways that you build virtual trust is to be authentic in who you are. I find that most people's websites tend to be a barrier to authenticity and a barrier to trust. There are these static online business cards. I know I talk about that a lot, but there are static online business cards that don't give you any glimpse of who the doctor is and what the practice is. They're boilerplate templates. They're these things, websites that you buy from companies that everything's pre-written. They give you a set of procedures and you choose which ones out of those procedures you do, and it says root canal, and then it has a description of a root canal underneath the services list, and then you click on filling and it describes what a filling is underneath the services list. That's something that's designed to work with any dentist that does that procedure. That's exactly what you should try to avoid if you want to stand out. Don't use marketing tactics and strategies that are designed to work for every dentist. By definition, you can't stand out if you're using something that works for everybody. You need to be unique and different. We do a lot of niche marketing. We have our emergency clinic and we only see emergency patients. We also have a holistic alternative practice and we only see alternative holistic patients. We're very big into pick a small niche and market to that group of people and cater to those people because that's vital in being able to stand out. If we're the only emergency dentist around, I'm sure a lot of other dentists do emergency services, but we're the only ones that are marketing only to emergency patients. Now, granted, we only do emergency services, so we're not doing root canals, we're not doing crown and bridge work, we're not doing whitening, veneers, prophies, recare, anything like that. We're only helping people get out of pain. But that's what our niche is, and that's what allows us to stand out. Now, on our website, we spend a lot of time trying to be authentic. Look at who we are, see who we are, and if this is what you like, then come to us. If you don't like it, that's okay. There'll be another dentist that'll be right for you. You can't be all things to all patients. And that's really a fallacy that we get out of dental school, which is this: you need to be successful, you need to accept all insurances, you need to do all procedures, and you need to cater to all ages and all types of people. But that's exactly how you end up as one of 6,000 dentists in an area. And that's what makes it so hard to stand out. There's a great video online. If you haven't heard of it before, it's called the Dollar Shave Club. It's a razor of the month club, essentially. And they've used authenticity brilliantly in their video. If you haven't watched the video already, if you haven't seen it on YouTube or anything, check it out. Just go to their website, dollarshaveclub.com, and watch their video. It's the president of the company, the founder of the company, made the video. It helps that he was a improv stand-up comedian. He trained at the Upright Citizens Brigade in New York, and so he does understand what he's doing when he creates this. But you can see through the company into who he is, and you get a really good idea. Now, he's not catering to everybody. He's not catering to people who really are going to be offended by the commercial. And it's not an offensive commercial at all. It's kind of a funny commercial, but if you don't like companies that take themselves lightly, then it's probably not going to be the right razor for you, and he's okay with that. And they've grown exponentially. That video has had something ridiculous, like 10 million views in a couple of weeks. Outrageous how much success he had with it. And he made it on a budget of $4,000, and now his company is huge. And he's taking on companies like Gillette and other large razor companies out there with $1 a month shave club. So check it out. It's an interesting video to watch to get an idea on what it means to say use authenticity in your marketing. On a lot of our practices, we try to do a lot of things that sound like they come straight from the doctor. Now, we don't always need it to be perfect. Most people understand that their dentist is not a journal writer. Now, some dentists are. Some dentists write journal articles. I totally understand that, and that's great. You probably don't write a lot of colloquial pieces designed for information for your patient's benefit. What I mean by that is you probably don't write a marketing piece that is easy to understand by everybody and that provides some valuable information that can really help them out. And that's why we try to make it sound like it's coming from the doctor, the way you talk. It may not always have perfect grammar, perfect punctuation, perfect spelling. The benefit of that is that people know it's authentic. People understand that it's the doctor's words, the doctor who wrote this, and the doctor's passion that's coming through in that topic. And I think that's really key in building that virtual trust with patients. If the patient believes that they're being duped, or the patient can't find out who that doctor really is, you're really putting up one more barrier to attracting that patient into your practice. So some ways that you can be authentic in your marketing is to get yourself out there. If you're going to be doing Facebook posts, we manage Facebook pages for a lot of different dentists. The posts that we make never get as big of a response as the post written by the dentist. It could have almost the same tone and same wording and same ideas, but people know when the dentist wrote it and when one of my staff members wrote it. They just understand that. It comes through in the passion, it comes through in the writing. It could be something we'll post, the doctor will post a comment that says, I took out this tooth today, look at this infection, this is why you need to go see the dentist, check it out. If you're having any kind of pain, you should definitely give your dentist a call. Just something simple like that, a picture of a tooth that had been taken out. And it might get 20 comments on our Facebook page. Now we can write something that's very informative about how dangerous it is to leave an infection untreated, nobody will like the post, nobody will comment on it, because they know it's not authentic, it's not from the doctor. People can see through that barrier. They understand what's real and what's not. And so it's important to actually put yourself out there. So as a doctor, I'm not encouraging you to make Facebook posts every day, but go on your Facebook page 2-3 times a week and post something from you. It could even be something about your family. It could be a story, an anecdote about a patient. Please don't use your patient's name, but if you have an anecdote that you think might be applicable to other patients who come into the office, that's a great thing to post. Write a little short story. Post your own anecdote about yourself. Maybe you went bike riding last weekend and fell off your bike and almost broke a tooth, and how ironic would it be if your dentist broke his tooth? And just make a post like that. People will understand, and they see the authenticity, and they start to build that virtual trust. If you're going to do videos, make sure that the videos are authentic. When we do videos, they're very authentic. I mean, this video right here is me. I'm not talking from a script. I'm sitting in front of the camera at my desk in my office in Oregon, talking to you, giving you ideas as I think of them, and ideas that I'm already applying in our practice and in other practices. As you can see, I'm probably a little more fidgety than I should be. This is not a professional video. This is me sitting in front of the camera trying to provide advice to you and tips to you. And these are things that you may or may not like. Maybe you don't care. Maybe you don't need new patients. I'm not trying to cater to you if you don't need new patients. Maybe you already are doing a lot of these things. Well, that's okay too. You don't have to watch the video, and I understand that. If you're still watching the video at this point, then I've probably struck a chord, and there's probably some level of authenticity that you understand as you're watching this video. Now, if I had a staff member sit here and talk off a scripted document that I was holding up and filming from the other side, you would understand that that was not authentic. Or if I was reading off a teleprompter right now and everything was perfect and it was very staged and I was pitching products, you would understand that that was not authentic. But as you're watching this now, I'm sure you can see some things are redundant. I fidget around. The camera focus is probably going in and out a little bit. We've got stuff on my desk, a coffee mug on my desk. These are things, this is my real life work experience. I'm moving around in my chair. People tell you never to swivel in your chair. I swivel in my chair. This is authentic. This video, it represents my ideas, who I am, in an honest way. And so I'm hopefully building perceived trust. Now, I'm not selling anything. I do this because I enjoy it. People ask me these questions, so I put it out there. We no longer really take on new clients, only occasionally, so I'm not pitching a product. I'm doing this because I'm hoping that you'll benefit from it. There's a little bit of an ego boost for me, because if you like this and you share this video with somebody else and you get a benefit out of it and you post a comment on it, it makes me feel good. I helped you out. If I don't help you out, then I obviously am not going to feel as good. And that's pretty much why I do these videos. And there's a level of authenticity to that. And I hope that you realize that as we're doing this. So we take this video, we put this video on our website. It goes on YouTube, it goes on Vimeo. We take the podcast, we put it on iTunes, we put it out there for free for people. You can find our other stuff online. We sell a couple of products, but I don't normally pitch any products in these video casts. And this is a great lesson that you can take in your own practice. Sit down, use the webcam on your computer if you have to. Use your phone, have your assistant hold your phone, and once a week, do a video cast, record it with you sitting in your operatory, being recorded by your assistant. It's a great way to express who you are and show and really introduce yourself to your patients. Don't worry about your patients watching the video and not liking it. If your patient doesn't like you on video, the patient's not going to like you in the office. If you don't express yourself and don't show authenticity ahead of time, you're setting yourself up for failure. I'll give you an example. You have a boilerplate website. You send out a flyer for new homeowners. Somebody gets this flyer in the mail. They go on your website. It says that you provide various services. You do children, adults, dentures, root canals, prophies, exams, crown and bridge. You have a CEREC, all those things, right? So you've got all that's listed on your website. It has some nice stock photos on the website, maybe on a nice little slider with a bunch of people smiling and making good faces. It says about the doctor, may or may not even have a picture of you. It just has a little bit, maybe your resume is on there, maybe your CV. It's got your education probably, and a little bit about who you are, but not too much because we don't want to scare anybody off. It has a phone number prominently displayed. It has a map and maybe an email function, maybe not. Some practices don't like to receive those emails, and it asks people to call to schedule an appointment. So patient A gets the flyer, goes on your website, goes, okay, this is good enough for me. It's a local dentist and they're offering me $99 exam and x-rays. I'll call up and schedule. Well, this patient is a holistic patient. You're not a holistic doctor. So patient has no idea because your website and your flyer didn't say anything about that. Patient calls up, schedules the appointment, comes in, and is really upset when they come into the office because it didn't meet their preconceived expectations. See, whether or not you think you're setting expectations, you are. The patient is going to develop their own expectations in the absence of your assistance. So if you don't provide any kind of information that assists them to create an accurate expectation in their head, they're going to come up with their own unrealistic expectation. They show up in the office and they'll be disappointed because you didn't meet the expectation that they unfairly created on their own. I hope that makes sense. Now, if you are the opposite and you're putting a lot of authenticity out there, and you send out that same flyer and it has pictures of you and it talks about your philosophies, and it may or may not appeal to that person who gets it. Maybe they look at it and say, oh, this is interesting. Okay, this guy he says he's great at doing root canals. Man, I've had some bad root canals, but I think I might need one now. Maybe this guy is good at this. Okay, so I'm going to go check out their website. And on their website, there's all these videos about you talking about how you do root canals and how great you are at doing root canals and why it's different. And maybe you even have a couple of testimonials from patients talking about how they were so satisfied with their testimonial or with their root canal. And now this patient goes, wow, look at this. I know that doctor. I know exactly what to expect. I've seen the office. I know what to expect when I go in. Is it a sterile environment? Is it a comfortable environment? Is it a big office? Is it a small office? Are there 15 staff members? Is there one staff member? Is the office green? Is the office blue? They are now building realistic expectations in their head. When they show up, all you have to do is meet those expectations. And you're much more likely to meet those expectations if you've been authentic up front and you've set the expectations for them. Now, what's the drawback to that? The drawback is, traditionally, most people are going to say, you're going to turn some people off. What if the patient doesn't like you? What if the patient doesn't like what you have to say in the video? What if the patient doesn't like the color of your eyes? Doesn't like the way you talk into the camera? Doesn't like the fact that it's not professionally done? Doesn't like your accent or your lack of an accent? Or doesn't like how tall you are, how short you are, anything? Well, the reality is, that's who you are. If you don't tell the patient, first off, you don't filter those people out, the reality is that patient's going to come into your office and figure it out when they get into the office. Then what are they going to do? They're going to be unhappy, they're going to leave a bad review, and it's going to be a lose-lose situation for everybody. Why not just filter those people out to begin with, never have to deal with them, they can find the doctor that's best for them, and you can get the patients who want to come see you and feel like they know you ahead of time. You're setting better expectations, you're able to meet and exceed those expectations, you're going to get better reviews, your patients are going to be happier, they're going to refer more other patients, and it's just going to be a much better situation. So be yourself, put yourself out there, put yourself online, do it ethically, do it within the rules of your state dental board, make sure you're not violating things. Most states have a rule that say you can't be the best, you can't call yourself the best dentist. Don't go out there and say, just because you think you're the best, I'm not saying that you should create a bunch of videos calling yourself the best dentist. Okay? Be smart, be within the rules, but make authentic videos. Use your camera. They don't have to be professional. Use your phone. Have your assistant do it. Make sure the lighting's halfway decent. Make sure the sound is halfway decent. set up a YouTube account, set up a Vimeo account. I like Vimeo a lot. It's vimeo.com. I like it because the quality is good and the player is clean. If you have somebody who can help you out with it, put it on your Facebook page. That's a great place to put your videos. Put it on your website if you can. That's an even better place to put your videos. Do this once a week. So this is my awesome marketing tip this week.
Hey kid, how about a tip?
This week I want you to get whatever camera system you can, whatever you have lying around, whether it's an iPhone or an Android or an iPad. I've got my iPad lying around here, or you're using the webcam on your computer. Record a video with an anecdote for a patient. I'm sure you've got a lot of stories of patients. Maybe you see a lot of abscesses. Maybe you get a lot of broken teeth for whatever reason. Tell an anecdote about a patient who had a broken tooth. Put that out there, and then talk about how you were able to help that patient with the broken tooth and how you love fixing broken teeth. And that's one of your favorite things to do. Put that on your website. Put that on Vimeo or YouTube, hopefully both. It's easy to create an account on both of them. It's free. Set up those accounts. Upload the video to your Facebook page. And if you don't know how to do this, have somebody in your staff do it, because I'm sure somebody can help you out with it. And get that video out there and see what happens. I guarantee you, if you put that on Facebook, you're going to get some comments. If you have people who already like your Facebook page, you're going to get more comments on that short video, really telling people who you are and what you're passionate about, than you will on any kind of pre-written Facebook post with information and links that you've ever gotten. You're going to get a ton of people who like that. So my awesome tip this week is to do the best you can to create a decent video. Make it 2 to 4 minutes long, not this long. Don't make it 20 minutes unless you're teaching a course, and get it up there. Don't worry about the quality. Don't worry about how you look. Just get it out there and make sure it's an authentic representation of who you are. Don't be fake, be you, and allow that to come through on those videos. Even if you are terrible in front of the camera, people will know that it's authentic. I've worked with lots of people who are nervous, they don't know what to say, they get flabbergasted. I've done these a long time and I'm still not good at them. I'm sure you're watching it now saying, well, it can't be much worse than Jared is. So take that, hopefully this will be inspiration for you. Take that, create that video, and get it out there and see what happens. The worst case scenario is that people don't like the video and they don't comment on the video. So delete it. If you don't like it and you don't think it works, don't do it. But more often than not, those videos are really going to start building trust. They're not necessarily going to bring a patient in on day one, but they're going to help you build trust with the people out there, some who are already patients and some who are not quite yet patients. Remember too, on Facebook, if you have existing patients who like your Facebook page and you post this video on Facebook, they're more likely to share that video with their friends who need a dentist, because they can say, hey, look, this is really who my dentist is. If you want a good dentist, check out this video. This is my dentist. If you like him, schedule an appointment. They're more likely to share it in that manner than they are to say, hey, if you need a dentist, check out this website. That's not the same. There's not that personal connection. So that's my awesome tip this week. Don't put it off any longer. Just get out your camera, try it out, see how it turns out, and I'll bet you're pleasantly surprised with the results.
Wow, kid, that's a great tip.
I hope this has helped this week. This is Jared with Your Dental Marketing Department podcast and videocast. You can find us online at yourdentalmarketingdepartment.com or bigdiastema.com for more reviews, videos, and all kinds of other stuff that we don't charge for. You can also find the podcast on iTunes, and the video is on our websites, on Vimeo, and on YouTube as well. I hope it's been informative, and we'll see you again soon.